Hey, fifth graders, welcome to your customary capacity where we are looking at the different ways we can convert our liquid measurements. Couple of reminders before we jump in that you have an anchor chart showing you all of the conversions for metric and capacity or metric and customary if you need it. And we also have the kingdom of gallon that was shared with you this week. Both of those would be super helpful to have. Again, you do not need to print them. You can always copy them into a notebook if you do not have a printer available to you. And with that, let's dive in. So we are starting with cups, 2 ounces. There are 8 ounces in every cup, so 7 times 8 gives me 56 ounces. Going quarts to pints, there is 1 quart equals 2 pints. So that means we're going small to big. We're going to multiply. 7 times 2 gives me 14 pints. Coming over here, pints to cups. There is 1 pint for every 2 cups. I am growing, so 5 times 2 is 10. Gallons to pints. I had to do some math magic here because I have 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. And then I have to change my 4 quarts into every 1 quart is 2 pints. So some math magic. I'm going to do 5 gallons times 4. That gives me 20 quarts. And then I have to double it. Every quart gives me 2 pints. So 20 times 2 is 40. We're looking at 40 pints. Gallons to ounces. Every cup is 8 ounces. If I'm going from cups to gallons, I have to work my way up. So we have 8 ounces is equal to 1 cup, and there are 4 cups in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon. So we had to do some math magic. If there's 4 cups in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon, that means that there are 16 cups in 1 gallon. If I take that 16 and I multiply it by 8, I'm going to end up with 768 ounces. Gallons to cups. Every gallon has 16 cups. Multiply it, we get 48. Over here, gallons to quarts. Again, using what you have. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So 9 times 4 gives me 36. Quarts to cups. Every quart gives me 2 cups. I'm sorry, every quart gives me 4 cups. So 9 times 4, 36. 9 gallons is 36 quarts. 9 quarts is 36 cups. Quarts to ounces. I have to do quarts to cups first and then cups to ounces. I end up with 64 ounces. 4 pints to ounces, that is also 64 ounces. And I know that because I know that there are 2 pints in every quart. So these are equivalent in amount. This is similar to what we were doing in our math last week, where we have a little bit of one and a little bit of other. So the first thing we want to do is make our pints into cups. So every 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So we're going to multiply this, and we have 16 cups, plus the one I have here is 17 cups. I want to make it into ounces, so I'm going to take that 17, and I'm going to multiply it by my 8 ounces in each cup, and I'm going to get 136 ounces. Quarts to cups, I'm going to work my way through. So I know that 1 quart equals 4 cups. So starting there, 1 quart is 4 cups, 10 quarts is 40 cups. Then I have my pint. 1 pint is another 2 cups. So if I have 10 quarts and 1 pint, I have 42 cups. All right, moving our way along. That is the end of page 1. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, we are converting still cups to pints. So every 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. So I am going to divide these in half. If 2 cups is 1 pint, then 30 cups is 15 pints. If 30 pints is blank quarts, looking at what we have, every 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. So if I divide 30 divided by 2, I get 15 quarts. They are equivalent in amount. So 15 pints and 15 quarts. Pints to quarts, every 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. So I'm going to cut this in half. Half of 24 is 12. And if every one of my cups is 8 ounces, 24 divided by 8 gives me 3 cups. 1 cup is equal to 8 ounces. All right, love bugs, cups to quarts, cut it in half. Cut it in half. So if I want to go, whoa, that looks a little bit wonky. There we go. If I want to go cups to quarts, I'm going to start by cutting it in half to go to pints. So every 2 cups is a pint. So 16 cups is 8 pints. And 8 pints, cut that in half again. That's going to be 4 quarts. 64 ounces to quarts. First, we're going to start by making it cups. So 8 times 8 is 64. So this would be 8 cups. And then for cups to quarts, 4 cups is 1 quart. So if we divide 8 by 4, we end up with 2 quarts. Ounces to cups, divide by 80. Every 8 ounces is a cup. 40 divided by 8 gives us 5. Quarts to gallons. Every 4 quarts is a gallon. 40 divided by 4, that gives us 10 gallons. Coming down here, pints to gallons. We have to do a little bit of a step. So we have 2 pints is equal to 1 quart, and 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. So if I cut my pints in half, I get quarts. So I have 32 quarts. And if I divide my 32 by 4, 32 divided by 4 is 8. There are 8 gallons. Quarts to gallons, we have that right here. Divide by 4. They are equivalent. These are our double steps. So we did pints to quarts, and we did quarts to gallons. Last one on this page, cups to gallons. Well, there are 4 cups in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon. So we're going to do our double step. If we do 48 divided by 4, and if you're not sure, write it out. It goes in 12 times. This is going to be my quarts. Quarts to gallons, 12 divided by 4 leaves me with 3. There are 3 gallons. And then our last one on this page, ounces to pints. Start by dividing it by 8. When we divide it by 8, it gives us our cups. And then we know that there are 2 cups in each pint. Cut it in half from your 16. We end up with 8 pints. Any questions on these, kiddos? Bring them with you to class. All right, love bugs, filling in the blanks. Notice these are not direct conversions. Think of it like an answer with a remainder. So we're going from quarts to gallons and quarts. Every 4 quarts is going to equal 1 gallon. Let's see what we have left over. If I do 25 divided by 4, it's going to go in 6 times with a remainder of 1. Remember, our remainders stay in our original form. So I would have 6 gallons and 1 quart, okay? Over here, we're doing pints, 2 quarts and pints. 2 pints equals 1 quart. So let's divide. 15 divided by 2 gives me 7 with a remainder of 1. So I would have 7 quarts. And then my original stays as is, 1 pint. Coming down here, ounces, we're going to divide by 8. So if we do 83 divided by 8, it's going to go in 10 times with a remainder of 3. So I could get 10 cups and 3 ounces left over. Cups, 2 pints and cups. Every 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. So if I do 11 divided by 2, it's going to go in 5 times with a remainder of 1. So I would have 5 pints and 1 cup. Going down to the last row here, cups, 2 quarts. Every 4 cups is equal to 1 quart. So I'm going to divide my 37 by 4. 9 times 4 is 36, leaving me with 1. This would be 9 quarts and 1 cup. Last one on this page, we're going pints to gallons, and we have a little bit of a two-step. So we have 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. So that means that 8 pints is equal to 1 gallon. So we are going to divide 67 by 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 67 minus 64 is 3. We would have 8 gallons and 3 pints. Any questions? Bring them with you to class. All right, Nuggets, looking at some word problems. Remember, as always, what are they asking me to do? And what numbers are they giving me to use? Addie is cooking pasta and needs to use a pint of milk. She only has a gallon in the refrigerator. How much milk will be left over in pints? So we are starting with 1 gallon, and they want our answer in pints. So let's start there. How many pints are in a gallon? Well, there's 4 quarts in a gallon, and there's 2 pints in a quart. So we're going to have 8 pints altogether. If I use 1 pint, 8 minus 1 equals 7 pints will be remaining. Jennifer has 48 gallons of paint. How many quarts does she have? So we have 48 gallons equals an unknown amount of quarts. I know that there are 4 quarts in each gallon, which means I have to multiply this by 4. I get 192 quarts. Chase's water bottle holds 30 ounces. If he drinks 3 cups, how much water is left? We have 30 ounces. We're going to have to subtract what he drinks, but I need to know 3 cups equals how many ounces? 3 cups, each one is 8 ounces. That gives me 24. So when I do 30 minus 24, I'm left with 6 ounces. Over here, Doug wants to drink 56 ounces of water each day. How many cups will he need to drink? 56 ounces divided by 8 ounces in each cup. That's going to give me 7 cups, because 56 divided by 8 is 7, or reverse it, 7 times 8 is 56. Derek has a half gallon, careful, pitcher. How many cups of lemonade will it hold? All right, there are 4 quarts in a gallon, 4 cups in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. So there are 16 cups in 1 gallon, but we have a half gallon. So a half gallon, don't overthink it, cut it in half, is going to be 8 cups. It's going to hold exactly half of the other amount. And Autumn uses 20 cups of oil to quench a knife. How many pints does she use? So 20 cups is going to be how many pints? There are 2 cups in each pint, so we're going to divide it in half. That gives me 10 pints. Any questions on these? Bring them with you to class. All right, love bugs, last one, doing some computation, so adding and subtracting of mixed amounts. So cups to pints. First thing I need to do is add these up. So if I have 39 cups plus 5 cups, they're the same, I can add them. 39 plus 5 is 44. 44 cups, 2 pints. There's 2 cups in each pint, so I'm going to divide this by 2. There are 22 pints. All right, quarts and quarts, I can add them directly. 9 plus 7 is 16 quarts equals how many gallons? There are 4 quarts in each gallon, so I'm going to divide. 16 divided by 4 gives me 4 gallons. 6 cups and 32 ounces, I want them pints. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert these both to cups because that gets me a little bit closer to my pints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by 8. That gives me 6 cups plus 4 cups, which is 10 cups. And if I want to make those pints, there are 2 cups in each pint, so I'm going to divide it by 2. 10 divided by 2 leaves me with 5. Over here, pints and cups, 2 quarts. Well, I know that 2 cups is the same as 1 pint. So I'm going to switch that out real quick to make them like and like. 5 pints plus 1 pint is 6 pints. And to go from pint to cup, I have to divide it. Or I'm sorry, pint to quart. I have to divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. This would be 3 quarts. 15 gallons minus 8 gallons. I can start by subtracting that since they are the same. So 15 take away 8 leaves me with 7 gallons. And I want to turn those into quarts. So every 4 quarts is a gallon. I have to multiply 7 times 4. And I'm sorry, I need to subtract. Just kidding. 15 gallons. No, I did that right. 7 times 4 is 28. Sorry, kiddos, this daylight savings time is really tricky on my brain. All right, so we had our 15 gallons, subtracted 8 gallons, left us with 7. 7 times 4 gives us 28. All right, Nuggets. Last one, 9 pints minus 2 pints gives us 7 pints. To turn our pints into cups, every 1 pint is 2 cups. This is going to be 14 cups. Any questions, sweet faces? Bring them with you to class. Have a good weekend.